Well, watching developments closely for us is our chief foreign editor, Rob Parsons, who's with me now. Rob, has anything changed today because Vladimir Putin signed those annexation documents? Because clearly Russia doesn't have control in those areas, whatever it says on paper.
Yeah, I think the simple answer to that is on the ground it doesn't change anything. Potentially it does change things, though, because these areas, regions, are now recognized by Russia, if solely by Russia, as being part of Russia, and therefore they come under Russia's policy of strategic deterrence. In other words, if they are attacked, as they are being attacked by Ukrainian forces at the moment, Russia reserves the right to use all means at its disposal to defend them. So potentially it changes something, and the question that has arisen is, will the Russians consider the possibility of using tactical nuclear weapons? For instance, Vladimir Putin has hinted at that. Some Russian commentators have been even stronger than that and said that they should be used. But the likelihood, I think, at this stage is that they will not. On the ground, very little has changed. What are the Russians saying? They're saying at the moment that they've taken control of those areas that they've incorporated those areas that they currently control and reserve the right to take up more of those regions that have been incorporated as things develop. In other words, they may very well seek to reoccupy territories that the Ukrainians are at the moment seizing. You know, that is a wish rather than the situation on the ground. On the ground, we're seeing something completely different develop, with the Russians in pretty much headlong retreat, both in the northeast, as you pointed out, and in the south, in Kherson.
How significant is that Ukrainian advance, both in the south and the northeast?
Well, it's massive, both for the morale of the Ukrainians and for the disintegrating morale of the Russians. The Ukrainians quite clearly have a carefully designed operational design, which they've been developing over the last couple of months, which has allowed them to switch from one part of the front to the other, to take advantage in one place and then take advantage in another. The Russians are playing catch up all the time. They're trying to bring recruits or mobilize forces into the areas under attack, but the mobilized forces are poorly trained, and many suspect they will be little more than cannon fodder if they manage to get in place. Meantime, what are we seeing? We're seeing the Ukrainians well trained, now well equipped with Western weaponry, with good officer corps, decentralized, unlike the Russian forces, which are cumbersome and centralized and don't seem able to react quickly to what's going on. And we see, as a consequence of that, rapid Ukrainian progress, both in the northeast around now Kremlin and Svatove, threatening to cut off a Russian force in Kremlin. If they get past that, then the chances are that they will advance deep into Luhansk region, which the Russians obviously claim as one of theirs now, but also in the south, perhaps even more catastrophically for the Russians, if they manage to continue their breakthrough in Kherson region, and it looks likely at this stage that they may very well do so, the Russians are in serious risk of losing one of their major armies in Ukraine around Kherson. Anything between 15 and 25,000 men.
Rob Parsons, thanks very much indeed for your analysis.